And just like that, we're back again. I can't say fellows this time. It's me and LT for this ride along. It's episode 70 of Who's Fighting. LT, man, how you been?
I'm great, man. Got to see some little bit of soccer last night. Went to the Austin. Well, this is my All-Star shirt, but I went to see Austin FC last night. They played St. Louis, so just enjoyed that atmosphere.
How did they do?
Ooh, yeah, they were on the back foot most of the night. St. Louis got some speedsters on the squad, and they had a nice one-time play, but for the most part, it was the St. Louis show.
Before we start the episode, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say always a great experience. So
always a great. Before we start with what we are going to talk about, big ups to our host or co-host. Kam Gee is handling family business at the moment, so we will hold it down while he takes care of family business. As I say that, let's transition. Should we transition or should I talk about my week? I forgot if I've mentioned.
How was your week? Yeah, Strap. How was Strap's week?
So my week has been pretty good. Relaxing. Got to play a little bit of 9 holes of golf. And got to repair a few things around the house. Did some home projects here, and it's been relaxing. I can't complain. Besides that, got to watch the UFC 320. We always talk about the UFC fight nights. They're okay. The fight night's okay, or those the ones that don't have the numbers, they're okay. But when you have a number associated to the UFC, it's gonna be premium. And the lineup was stacked. We had Chama, Alex Pereira, on the card. We had Mirab on the card. We had Khalil Roundtree on the card. We had Sunhagen on the card. We had the list just goes on and goes on. We had Projaska, if I'm saying it, Projaska, Jerry Projaska. We've been talking about this guy like for 5 years. Back in the day when we used to record in the basement, on the card. It was a very, very, very star-studded UFC 320. But let's start with the main one. We have Magomed. Oh gosh, I gotta slow it down here. Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira, and this is for the light heavyweight belt. And we had a victory by Pereira, Chama, in a minute and 20 seconds. Minute and 20 seconds.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Very quick. Made it. It was a quick, ground pound, just finish him. This was their second time fighting. The first time Pereira lost. Second time Pereira made it undeniable. Came in, got his chain, got it back in blood, as the young people may say. Second co-main event that night, we had Mirab. I can't these names.
Oh no! Wait a minute though. I want to ask you though. Yep. Let's get the banner going. That's on me. Oh. How did you feel about the post-fight celebration?
I could tell it came with frustration from the pre-fight antics by Magomed. The whole "I'll take you back to the tire shop" stuff. And, he was talking a lot of crap. So when he did the whole, it's kind of like, if you know the internet, there's this guy, he's a silent, like, African dude that always makes everything look easy. And he does like,
gotcha.
You make it complicated. And he's like, just do it. And Pereira has done it. This is the second time he's done that troll to a fighter. He did that last one to Forgot his name. Jamal Hill, I think. Jamal, I forgot his name. But yeah, he did it to Magomed, and I mean, he was like, "This was light work, round one, and I'm back in contention, man. I'm back as the two-time light heavyweight champ of the UFC." So, I mean, it goes without saying that Pereira is a force to be reckoned with, and I mean, who's there for him to fight? There's the legendary fight with him and Khalil. I don't know. Stylebender coming back and fighting him. I don't know if people want to see that. They fought so many times. What would you say?
Ooh, I don't know, man. He's back. He avenged his defeat, and so great question. But we know he's beatable. We know he's beatable. So
he is lost 2 times or so in the UFC, and when he was doing the kickboxing. But hey, it's a hard task for anyone in that weight category. I think he walks around at like 230, and he has to slim down to like 195, which is ridiculous. How you do that? Like lose like 30 pounds, 40 pounds in that space of time is crazy. So let's move on to the bantamweight title. We had Merab Dashvili, if I'm saying it right, versus Corey Sandhagen. Merab is he's a character. Funny, him and Aljamain are like the closest. And actually, I believe Aljamain, what Merab made from his last fight, his purse, he used some of it to pay for Aljamain's wedding or some stuff. They're just like bros. They're close. Merab is from Georgia. Aljamain is a New Yorker, Jamaican. Aljo is also a legend in his own right. He was one of the few brothers, representing in the bantamweight, and now his boy Merab is out here taking, kicking ass, kicking butt. Sorry, and taking names. I don't want to mess with the algorithms, and he did it with a very tricky opponent in Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen is a tough client, and I saw this fight, and I'll tell you this: I thought Merab was gonna lose, and then champions do champion things, and Merab controlled it, kept it on the ground, amazing grappling, to win it, by unanimous decision. Did you watch this?
I did, and in the moment, I remember it being a good fight, but the main event kind of just was like,
oh, the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Merab he's a guy who lost his, I think, first UFC fight. And people would never see the projection of how much he has improved to being champion, and then from being champion to retaining and also defending continuous. I think this is his second title defense, and salute to him for showing us that you could start off in the UFC not on the right note. I think he may have lost his first 2 fights. I could be wrong, but I know he lost his first fight for sure, because I remember when he first came into the UFC, and just looking at him, now his record is just ridiculous: 20 victories, 4 losses, and the guy's not losing. Amazing grappler, wrestler. He's not losing. Salute to the pride of Georgia, Merab. Moving on to another light heavyweight, we'll talk about Jari Prochazka, and we'll talk about Khalil Roundtree Jr. We've talked about we've had these 2 fighters in our topics notes for years, especially Jari, from the first time he stepped into the UFC back in 2021 when we used to record. Jari was a very interesting fighter. I always thought personally at that time that he will be a future world champion. He was, first of all, very rangy, very strong, possesses power. He used to knock out people. The only thing I used to wonder was he allows himself to get touched quite a bit. As he has progressed, of course, injuries came into the mix. The rise of other fighters came into the realm. We've talked about fighters like shoosh. Jamal, forgetting his last name. I think Jamal Hill. I'm saying his right. Jamal Hill, I think is his name. We're talking about Roundtree. We've talked about Alex Pereira. So with these other fighters coming in, the old fighters going away, injuries. I mean, he did get beat by Pereira twice. Pereira beat him twice. The first time he fought Pereira, he almost had Pereira in trouble. Second time, Pereira just knocked him out. But anyways, moving forward, let's talk about Khalil Roundtree. Khalil Roundtree comes also with his own great history. He is like a Muay Thai type of fighter. He's I believe a California kid. Growing up as a youth, was into the wrong things. He was kind of like obese, and how he transformed his body into this world-class athlete is amazing. And his fight with Pereira, that's a weird thing. Pereira is tied into all these fights. His fight, Roundtree's fight with Pereira, still goes as one of the most legendary UFC fights I've ever seen. It was all blood, all spirit, all heart, and he persevered. He lost that fight, but man, he earned a lot of fans from that fight because he never gave up. Him fighting Jari, it didn't turn out to be Khalil's day because Jari did knock him out in the third round within minute 3:04. And I don't know what the scope looks like for Jari in this space. Do you see him versing Pereira again for the third time? That would be interesting. Who else is there for him to fight? We saw what happened to Dominic. Forgot the gentleman we talked about last week. Was it
Reyes?
Dominic Reyes. I don't know, like that. We don't have Joan Bones in that scope anymore. So maybe we may see another Jari versus Pereira, but salute to Jari for that win.
All possibilities are on the table when it comes to UFC. So
right, and I believe was the next big one going to be at the White House. I believe. Is that what they advertised?
We're looking at on like Constitution Day or something like that of next year. So 2026, I think.
Mm-hmm. So, hey, salute to Jari. Moving on, we'll talk about Josh Emmett versus Yusuf Zalal. Josh Emmett ended up winning by unanimous decision. Moving on to this name right here is gonna. It's Abubasian Magomed versus Joe Fair. I'm saying that right. Joe Fair won by a rear naked choke in the second round. Am I saying that right?
I don't know. I would say fire. I don't know.
Fire. Yeah. Rear naked choke in the second round. And that's just our quick roundup of UFC 320. As we move on to other things that happen all over the world of fighting, we are not exclusively just UFC. We also talk about other promotions, other
disciplines.
Exactly. So we'll move on to bare knuckle. Bare knuckle did have an event. This was in New York, New Jersey. We are talking about the king of violence, bare knuckle 82. We had platinum Mike Perry versus Jeremy Stevens. Of course, Mike Perry won that one through knockout. Mike Perry kind of has an interesting story, how he moved from UFC mixed martial arts into this bare knuckle space, and he looks like he is the guy. And I believe also Conor McGregor may even have stakes in the bare knuckle because I'm noticing he's the guy front and center when it comes to that bare knuckle stuff. So salute to platinum Mike Perry. One time for the ladies, we have Christine Ferrer, if I'm saying it right, versus Jessica Borga. And this is for the Queen of Violence title. Ferrer knocked out Borga in the fourth round, minutes 26 seconds, not even a minute, 26 seconds into it, to be crowned the Queen of Violence, and I guess she's the champ for the Queen of Violence. Those are interesting titles, but
correct.
um,
They're leaning into it. They're leaning into it. They like the EC. They're the ECW of combat sports.
Queen of Violence. Moving on to what happened Saturday. And this is in boxing. We have Cecilia Brockhaus versus Emma Kozin. And this is for the WBC, WBO female super welterweight belt. And this is under First Lady Productions or Promotions. I'm saying production like their music group. Cecilia ended up defeating Emma by unanimous decision to win the WBC, WBO female welterweight title. And actually this was built as her last fight. So she went out smoking. There were fights that were promoted, but they never happened. We have Polev versus Hunter. We're talking about Michael Hunter here versus Kabrat Polev, but I don't think that was that even ever happened. I think it was cut off or something happened and it didn't happen. And that was
it the rain? Maybe it got rained out. I don't know.
Possibly that was supposed to happen in Casino Miami, but it looks like it didn't happen. So anyway, moving on to Brandon Glanton.
Yes,
Marcus Brown.
So I just confirmed the nickname is actually Bulletproof. That's the nickname
for the Glanton.
Yeah,
Bulletproof. Wow, tough. And this was in Lagos, Nigeria. Salute to all my Naija boys, Naija queens. Salute. What they say? Naija don't carry last or something like that. But salute to that. This was under Amir Khan Promotions. How is Amir Khan taking fights in Nigeria? That's crazy. That's interesting. And also with co-partnership with DAZN. Did you get to watch this fight or see?
No, it was middle of the week and no, but interesting here because these guys are fighting at cruiserweight, and we know Marcus Brown made that campaign at light heavy, and Marcus Brown is game and battle tested, so
yeah,
tells us a lot about Brandon Glanton and a lot about what they're both trying to do here at this stage in their careers.
Yeah, saying that this is a 6-rounder is interesting for these two fighters. I don't know if it's AK Promotions testing.
Well, it stopped. He stopped him after the 6th round. So,
yeah. Okay, got it. So makes sense. So Marcus was stopped by Glanton. Interesting. I like this. We need more fights in other continents. Like, we want to see fights in South America, seeing a fight in Africa, especially with all these Nigerian, African, British fighters from the Itamus, the Anthony Joshuas of the world. Adele. Like there has to be a fight in the motherland at least one time. I mean, the last time I remember a big fight, and maybe I'm also not as cultured and my African brothers and sisters remind me. I'm thinking about Rumble in the Jungle. I'm thinking about Ali and Zaire, which is current day Democratic Republic of Congo. But we want to see a big fight out there. I mean, we've seen them in Abu Dhabi. We've seen them in Asia. We've seen the Mike Tyson's fighting in Japan. We still need to see a modern day, not to say Rumble in the Jungle, but a modern day title, big money fight in the continent of Africa. We have the facilities out there to do it. We have the technology to do it, and the money is definitely there for that. So it's long overdue, and I appreciate Amir Khan for testing those waters out.
I want to big up them real quick though, because when you look at the resume of Marcus Brown, his only losses are to Jean Pascal and Artur Beterbiev, and he also has a win on his record against Badu Jack. So,
Yeah, and these are guys who like I know Glanton. Did Glanton do any heavyweight? If I remember.
Nah, we're looking at light heavy because he just
I heavy. Okay, fair.
he's coming off a loss to Chris Billum Smith. Yeah,
yeah, but these are big boys. Cruiserweight.
This is probably the win of his career right now, honestly.
So, yeah, salute to Glanton, salute to Brown.
Big up the bulletproof.
Moving on to
now it's good. Now yeah. There you go.
AK Promotions, Amir Khan. When we talk about fighters looking for that next breath of life outside being just an active fighter, the natural progression. We've seen it with Golden Boy. We've seen it with Floyd, the Money Mayweather, the Team Money Mayweather. Fighters going into promoting other fighters and getting into the business of boxing. We're seeing this pivot for Amir Khan. The business side of boxing. Can you lead this here? Like how do we angle this? Like fighters are fighters, and fighters have people to take care of their stuff, right? And maybe this is also me speaking from a very ignorant and not informed side. But if I'm a fighter, I have somebody to take care of my business, so I could just focus on fighting. Like, what makes a fighter a good promoter? Like, I mean, I don't, like when in their life, being a fighter is a very selfish thing. You're only thinking about yourself, because you have to. The life you're saving is your own in that ring. You don't have time to. Promoters, you think about everything, everyone, all the stakeholders, tying things together, getting butts to the seats, all that stuff. So this pivot from being selfish in a good way to being all over the place. Do you think fighters make good promoters?
Well, I think Amir Khan will, much like in the light of Golden Boy. And what's good, right? Successful. Successful, good. Now I think Amir Khan probably has a savvy for this. He's had a great career where he's fought a lot of names. The speed and his style. I like this for him. I like this segue for him.
Yeah. It's always interesting when you see a guy like Amir Khan getting into this side of business, which I commend. But again,
I like that he's tapping in out the gate, tapping into the market that he's tapping into, right? Like you said.
Right. Taking fights overseas. I mean, if he does as good as how he did in boxing, he'll be all right. He was a great boxer. Great boxer. Moving on to fights that are supposed to be happening here a few days from now, the 10th of October, happening in California. I won't be going over the names. As you can see, the running banner. Some of them have been announced. Some of them are to be announced. Do you see any names that stand out for you?
Nah, man. I looked at so like right now I'm looking at Adorno's box rec. He's got an L to Edwin De Los Santos. He's coming off looked like he was coming off a draw. Let's see, March 25th he had Wesley Rivers. So,
and let me get.
Oh yeah, he beat Wesley Rivers. So like Adorno's got opponents of all kinds of experience levels. So it's kind of hard to put my finger on where he.
And let me just correct. It's gonna be on Friday. These are Friday fights, not Saturday.
Okay, there we go.
Happening in California, Commerce. I don't know if that's the building that we having this fight.
Well, that's the city, Commerce,
Commerce
California.
City. Oh, Commerce, California. All right. I've never heard of that place before, but salute to that.
That's where
We
they get the money. Go ahead.
I see we have 6 people live with us right now. As you may know, thank you for joining the discussion or joining the live. Like, comment, subscribe, talk in the chat. We need as much live viewership participation so we could, turn this into an interactive, engaging show, broadcast, whatever you may call it. We need your engagement, and thank you for tuning in. All right. Moving on to the next day. I was gonna say the same day. Next day, which is the 11th, which is Saturday, we have something from the Zone again. The Zone has been circling boxing for a long time. Like everyone is partnering with the Zone. We have Mr. Boots Ennis himself versus Lima, and this is the one I've been looking. This is the one. According to Eddie Hearns, now that the OGs are becoming real OGs, Eddie Hearns is backing everything that Boots is going to be the next box office. He's going to be the next pound for pound king, and he promises that. Do I disagree or agree with him? Mostly, I agree with him to a point. It's now for Boots to give us those big fights, and again, you only fight what's in front of you. I understand that. Like, we've wanted him to fight Terrence Crawford. We've wanted him to fight all these, but realistically, do those fighters want to fight Boots? So you can only fight what's in front of you, right? And if he's beating everything in front of him, then I think Eddie Hearns is right. We may be seeing the future pound for pound. What do you think? Before even going to his fight with Lima happening this coming weekend, what do you think about that? The statements that Eddie Hearns just put out.
It's a safe bet, That's his fighter. He's promoting him, but that's a safe bet. Like, I see Boots has the frame, he has the ability and the skills to move up and down through these weight classes and to dominate at every stop along the way. I'd like to see at some point some unification bouts. I'd like to see him hold multiple belts at one time. That's just my preference as a fan, but I know it doesn't always happen for whatever reasons. I think it should, though. I think it's with the relationships and the resources that are in the sport today, I would like to see that happen.
Yeah, and I want to quote Eddie Hearns. I was pulling up. This is from Sports Illustrated. Eddie Hearns publicly declares that he sees Boots rising to pound for pound within the next year, predicting multi-division dominance. Woo.
Yeah, we've seen him at
talk about pressure.
I think we've seen him at 140. We've seen him at 147 for a little bit. And now we're getting to see him at 154. So,
yeah, that's a hefty, lofty thing to put on your man's shoulders. Well, you know how they say, how do you eat a elephant? Is it one bite at a time? So he has Lima. You can only be what's in front of you, regardless if you want to fight, prime Muhammad Ali, which is not possible. Can only be what's in front of you. Can only be who you've negotiated a fight. And if you keep on putting those results in, we'll all have to shut up and say Boots is that guy of this generation, I guess. I mean, we still have the Tank Davis and all these other guys, but in that generation. But to Eddie Hearns, this is the one. His fighter is the one, and it's going to happen within next year.
Well, we got to see what happens in this fight. It looks to be a tune-up. Lima's got it's not a vast record. He's got one loss, unanimous decision defeat to Aaron McKenna, but he's coming off a TKO victory against Shervonta Koopman. Again, similar record. So.
All right, let's go to Sheffield. Let's cross the pond. And I tell you,
Wait though, no, hold on. We got to slow walk that one back because on the undercard, Zaqueen Moses is on there. That's the cousin of Shakur Stevenson. So I just wanted to point that out real quick. There's some people on there to watch on the undercard as well.
I've noticed. I like how these new fighters are doing it. You know, like you see. I'm trying to remember which last. Okay, you see like a Keyshawn. His fights are happening somewhere in Ohio. In the beginning, Shakur used to fight a lot in New Jersey, and then fighting in Philly. Like it's not like it's the typical. I'm going to go to Atlantic City, or I'm going to go to Vegas, or which other place? I think that's it, right? Which other big place that you would see fighters usually fighting? You never see like, or you talk about the GOAT fighting in Detroit. Like everything is home centered, and I like to see that Boots is doing that type of fight in his domain, which I like. But yeah.
I want to point out too that California card the night before. There's a Rashida Ellis on the undercard. Gotta be related to Rashidi Ellis. Gotta be, and I think that's that same Ellis family. So correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody in the comments.
Salinas.
Correct. That Ellis family is deep in boxing, so they give a lot of people a lot of work.
All right, so crossing the pond. This one I'm excited about. Not saying I'm not excited about Boots. I'm excited about that too, but actually fighters that I like. I see about two of them, but let's start with David Allen. His last fight was amazing. I mean, the British talent pool is crazy for the heavyweights, but this time he's fighting Magomed or Makhmadov. And let's see how that goes. But David Allen, amazing heavyweight. Can't wait to see how he performs.
Wait, is this the guy that fought Morrell?
I can't remember, but I know he fought. We covered one of his fights here. Let me pull his.
We gotta check the box record real quick.
Yeah. Oh, we covered his fight with.
No, this is not the. This is not the guy.
We shared his knockout. It was. Give me a second here.
No, but this guy's battle tested.
Yeah. Him and Johnny Fisher. We covered. He had that amazing TKO over Johnny Fisher, and we were replaying that video over and over again. How he knocked out his boy. That's actually his homie too, Johnny Fisher. I remember that. Big guy too. Big guy, like 6'3", maybe about 260, 270. Yeah.
45 fights, 29 knockouts, 11 losses. So he's been knocked out 4 times himself. Talk about battle tested. He's got most recent, probably the biggest name most recent. He lost to Ajit Kabayel.
Yeah, he's legit. I enjoyed seeing him fight Johnny Fisher, and it was something special seeing those two fight. Because I'm a big fan of Johnny Fisher too, and seeing how that went down, and the way he knocked out Johnny Fisher was special, and Johnny Fisher was also going for him too. Like it was Johnny Fisher was stepping up to him, and I mean it was all action.
Hold on a second. I'm looking at the early stages of Makhmadov's career, and oh my goodness, the beginning of his career was brutal. He won his debut, lost the next 2.
Yeah.
Won the 4th, lost the next 2.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Wait. Then we got another one that says debut again. It was like, let's reset the record on him.
Yeah, they did the whole Men in Black little flash thing. Let's forget about that. Let's reset. Let's back to factory settings. Oh man, that's funny. Talking about friend of the show, we call him friend of the show, but he's not really friend of the show. But We support this guy, Josh Padley. Padley, from ever since we saw him fight Shakur, I think he was an electrician. He was a part-time, I don't know, it was full-time, part-time boxer, full-time electrician, right? Electrician. And his performance with Shakur made him. I mean, Shakur was it Shakur his claim to fame? I believe
gotta be, yes.
So.
He was last minute insert on the card of the century, like
right. Came in to replace Kid Austin. Kid Austin had the food poisoning issue, and ever since, man, I'm seeing moving from height to height. He fought Marco. I can't say this dude's last name. Sentovic. This was in Sheffield, and then he fought, of course, Shakur in Saudi Arabia. He flew all the way to Saudi short notice to cover for a big fight against one of the greats of this generation, Shakur Stevenson. Now he steps into the ring, home court versus Reese Bellotti. Don't know too much about Reese Bellotti, but I know, man, I'm a fan of Josh Padley.
Exactly.
He's with Shakur Stevens.
Man, according to his Wikipedia, he is currently ranked number 7 contender at lightweight by the WBO, number 10 by the IBF, and number 12 by the WBC.
Nice. It's always good to see these rags to riches stories.
Just a feel good story.
Cinderella, like, just crazy. You never know, man. You pick up the phone, next thing you know, you're a global superstar, and you're. I don't know if he's a full-time electrician anymore. I think now everything's devoted to this boxing thing.
And it looks like they're walking it. They're putting him in the ring with the right people to get him back on that biggest stage.
Yeah.
Salute.
Salute Padley. Are we seeing any other names on this card that are standouts? I see a lot of filler.
But that Suleiman name does intrigue me. Ibrahim Suleiman. Not very familiar, but I am intrigued. So,
yeah.
No.
Hamza Udin, Ibrahim Suleiman versus James. Yeah, not too sure who that person is, but salute to everybody across the pond, Sheffield, England. It's gonna be fireworks on the 11th. On the 11th, you're gonna see fireworks. Fireworks. On the 11th, you're gonna see fireworks. Moving on. They just announced the class of 2026. And guess who made it? I mean, we're going to focus on one name in particular, but there are a few people that were announced on that list, notably Stephen Collins, Vernon Forrest, and of course, the one and only Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. This is interesting because rumblings have been happening and word has been moving around that he's making a comeback. And from notable people, from reputable people, that he's actually making a comeback. Like he and the people say he never retired in the first place. He never announced it. Who says he's retired? Pretty much the Pacquiao thing. When you think somebody's retired because he's not active, you automatically just classify them as retired. Triple G never said he's retired. No, he just took a little bit of a sabbatical. Did his Keith Thurman, just took time to find himself again. But now he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Oh, he's a nominee for the 2026 Hall of Fame. And I was talking to LT in the backstage, talking about how is it possible, or how is it possible for an active fighter to be in the Hall of Fame? And you were like, well, we have Manny Pacquiao.
Yep. So you got case study, you got a precedent. So
yeah,
hey, he hasn't fought in 3 years. Last fought Canelo Alvarez September 17th, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. As a Hall of Famer, this is undeniable. Like his, regardless his 2 losses to Canelo, right? He lost twice and drew once. Um, his resume is clean. He fought some notable fighters.
Well,
Jacob,
they got a split draw.
split draw and two losses to Canelo. Yeah. So yeah, he had a draw and 2 losses. Yeah.
Mhm.
He's besides those 3, he looks clean. His record is ridiculous. He was one time the boogeyman in his division. Just set the tone for what we call today the Ukrainian fighters. We talk about the Lomachenkos, the Usyks, his style. Like he's really a pioneer,
Man,
of all of that.
he's got unanimous decision over Daniel Jacobs, TKO Kell Brook on the way up, TKO David Lemieux, who was somebody at the time, TKO Willie Monroe Jr., who was somebody at the time. Man, knocked out Marco Antonio Rubio. Just if
he's deserving.
Yes,
He's deserving. He's only staying his Canelo, I guess. One of those stains, that draw should have been his win, though. I don't know. I don't know. 3 fights, he won 1. I know he won 1.
Yeah,
he beat Canelo once. Oh, I know. And then maybe one of the wins of Canelo could have been a draw. Could have been like 1 loss from Canelo.
Yeah,
Canelo was at the height of his, of his fame. Like to beat Canelo was gonna be crazy. Yeah. Canelo had not lost unless it was to Floyd Mayweather, I think, at that time, and to beat him was like unheard of. Like it was one of those that to beat that guy, you have to really knock him out. Like you can't just leave it for the judges. Moving on to 2026. You've not been active since 2022. That's crazy. But we'll see how he looks like. He was already older back in 2022. But again, I can't write any legend off because we've seen what a 40-something-year-old Manny Pacquiao looks like in the ring. 45? He's 40. How old is Pacquiao? 45? 46? The old man. I know he's not no spring chicken. And Pacquiao was in contention for a belt.
46.
46. So am I wrong for writing off Triple G coming back? I don't know, but only time could tell. But yeah,
we'll segue that then. I mean, let's segue it like this, since we're talking about 2026.
Oh, when I read that LT, I saw something different. I became an accountant when I saw that. I saw Taki holding his head like, damn. I saw every person that would make money in boxing holding their head. You do not want the cash cow to be injured and go through surgery and recovery. I don't know how long that will take and coming back.
Let's see. Well, I mean, yeesh, yeah. What a sideline, They already talked about getting off of the schedule too, as far as Cinco de Mayo. They already talked about getting off of that schedule.
Because that's a lot of families that need to eat, from this guy here. You never want to see like a Floyd Mayweather injured. You never want to see Gervonta Davis injured, because they're big drawers, and if you could squeeze that lemon at least 3 times a year, you count it in quarters, and you have to be strategic what days you squeeze that lemon, for lack of a better word, to get that juice. Canelo has fought this year, as we are in October right now. He's only fought 2 times. That was in May when he fought William Skull, and September when he fought Terrence. Prior to that, he had last fought in September last year to Edgar Berlanga. Canelo, as a prime name, has to fight at least 3 times for the economy of boxing to eat. Not saying we need to see Canelo fighting, but that's a guy who brings butts to seats. And it's weird. Like Canelo could lose even his next 3 fights. I guarantee you people are going to still come and see Canelo fight. One, he's a very likable person. Yeah, he's the pride of Guadalajara. He has the whole country behind him. And I believe black people love Canelo. Like, we love this guy. Like, we like him. Like, Canelo is a likable guy. Like,
yeah.
Like, so, and at one time, Pacquiao was Canelo. Like, you had to have a certain amount of fights to fill the boxing quarter for promoters because these are money fighters. They're bigger than a fight. They have to fight for people to eat. Or else, if you're having who's the next prime name outside Canelo?
Ooh, Gervonta.
But
talking about being pure.
Right. I think
being pure. Yeah, being pure to the sport. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Gervonta is. But like, okay, if Gervonta is hurt,
Terrence Crawford has entered the chat.
Terrence is for the purists. But do you think Terrence will bring a nation to
now he has entered the chat now that he has defeated Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like Terrence is going to be strategic on the next times he fights. He's not going to, but Canelo is a conglomerate by himself that when he comes out to fight, people are eating and they expect him to fight. And Canelo has pressure on him. He's like, man, a lot of people need to eat. So the fighter who's fighting him eats, promoters eat. Unless you have another fighter who's great. Let me talk about Benavidez. Benavidez is not going to pull like Canelo. Benavidez needs a Canelo.
Mm-hmm.
Terrence needed a Canelo. Taki Al-Hashik needed a Canelo. And that's when I look at that, I'm wrong for seeing it like that. I'm looking at the money. I'm like, screw this.
Well, I mean, check it out though. I mean, based off of the projections, he's set to come back when he usually fights in May. So are we really missing anything?
So they say mid-late. So that's like next year, October, depending on August.
The middle of the year is June.
And that's maybe, is that coming back to being active and having to learn how to go for rehabilitation and working again because the elbow surgery. So I don't know.
Depends on the source too.
Yeah. But anyways, moving away from that, I just wanted to put that out there because it is going to be people reaching for straws to kind of fill that quota and fill that the amount that Canelo brings into, because it's a business at the end of the day. These venues, everything's a business. Somebody has to. Maybe Jake Paul would be the person to save it, but I don't know. But somebody has to do that draw.
Listen, we're going to be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
The fights that didn't happen in people's primes are it looks like they're circling back and are going to happen. So
right,
I'm here for it.
Oh geez, talk about rumors. This one right here. LT, take lead on this, man.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say I predicted this.
You did. You actually did. I wish I had a way to get a clip and play it right now, but you actually did.
We got rumors of Manny Pacquiao and Rolando Romero negotiating for fighting in early 2026. Rolando Romero was awarded the WBA title. I think this was I don't know. It was either, I think Boots had the IBF or whatever, but this belt fell to Rolando Romero. And so now, prime opponent for an active Manny Pacquiao who just came back and fought to a draw against our guy from San Antonio, Mario Barrios. So,
yeah. And to think about this is just like, what the hell is what world am I living in? Like, are you kidding me? Like Canelo just came back and inserted himself in the topic. Pacquiao came back and inserted himself in the topic.
Yeah, and let's just
Pacquiao came back and inserted himself in the mix.
And let's put Triple G on the undercard.
Hey, you called a lot of stuff. You called Keith Thurman having a title chance. Remember when you said it back in the day when you heard Keith Thurman is all the way in Australia and you're pulling for him and Tim Tszyu, and you're like, Keith Thurman may weasel himself into a title chase. Somehow he's going to find himself into a title chase or something. And now he's fighting Fandora. And I'm like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah, 6 degrees of separation. His only loss is to Manny Pacquiao.
So Manny Pacquiao does a madness, and boom, he may be in contention to fight for a belt. And in 2026, so he'll be like 47, I think. This is actually mad. It's crazy.
He will be 47 because his birthday's in December.
That's crazy. So if he wins it, I don't know. Would he be the first in that division to be the oldest person to hold a belt? I know in the heavyweight we have Foreman. I don't know which are the old. Like, that's too old, man. 47 is. Damn.
And yeah.
But also, he's fighting a very athletic fighter. Very athletic fight. If he fights that person,
this
Roly,
is
not about the skill. I just worry about his athletic ability.
This is intriguing to me because we've seen Rolly get touched. We know he's not fundamentally the best fighter, but he did it. Rolly was good enough to keep Ryan Garcia off his back.
Because Garcia felt his power. Rolly, Tank said it. Rolly's powerful. He doesn't have ring IQ like some other fighters. Like, he's just.
Yeah. Like, I don't think he has the ring IQ of a Mario Barrios, but I think he packs a way bigger punch.
Yeah, and that's what old boy said. Tank Davis said that Tank Davis fought both Ryan and Rolly, and he said, I think Rolly's gonna surprise Ryan, because Tank said Rolly hit hard. Mm-hmm. Rolly really hits hard. He's strong as hell and he's athletic. It's just that Tank just had more ring IQ and caught him because he was using Rolly's aggression over him. Rolly was just stepping into them punches. Yeah. So Tank was on the back foot and caught him. And Ryan, when Ryan was looking good in the first round, when he got knocked down and got hit, Ryan was low-key scared and he didn't look like Ryan. Ryan was on the back foot and Rolly being Rolly, just stepping forward. And again, you're right. There's 30 plus years of ring IQ in Pacquiao, and Rolly could be a lamb to be slaughtered. You are crash out like Rolly, just walking into everything. Pacquiao could surprise us.
Exactly.
30 years of ring IQ. Pacquiao
and man, Rolly better watch Marquez. You got to watch Marquez fight.
Yeah. Pacquiao, that's Rolly right there. Pacquiao walking into that Marquez, because Pacquiao was also kind of a crash out back then. He was a front foot fighting style, and he hops. He still fights the same way. I was watching, always on the hop. Just, hey, I want to see it. I don't. In the beginning, I didn't want to see Pacquiao fight again, but the way he fought in his last fight, I feel okay. I feel he has ring IQ enough to stay safe. Hopefully, Rolly on the other end, if Rolly catches Pacquiao is being the old Pacquiao who gets hit. I don't know. But hey, I'm here to see the disaster, whether it's good or bad. How was that one?
Facts.
Yeah.
This last one, I kind of just threw it in here just because, coming off the heels of his victory against Canelo Alvarez, he's doing the press run and he's celebrating, and he had the highest of highs and lowest of lows, and he's had the parade.
Man, he's everywhere, bro. He's like in Japan. He's He's doing his 1-2s, man. He's everywhere.
And so, with that said, people are calling him out, and people are throwing opponents out there. And I just wanted to just speculate a little bit. And I think I really like this. I think we may have even talked about it, but I like this matchup with Janibek Alimkhanuly at
Mhm.
160 because Crawford has stated that he doesn't want to go back down to 154. And I think this is a 2-for-1 potentially. Janibek could also fight in the meantime, hopefully a unification bout and get 3 belts. So, it's also a dangerous fight for Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
There's people are asking Benavidez, can you go back down to 68? And I don't think Benavidez wants to. I don't think he wants to go back down to 168.
Yeah. Benavidez is gonna stay at 75. The only problem is the guy he wants to fight just had surgery. So I don't know. Unless he fights Callum Smith.
Well, who did they just announce? I think Morrell just got announced for Callum Smith. So, but yeah, they've been talking about that for a long time.
Yeah, but we're talking about Benavidez. Benavidez is a tough opponent. He has Yachty, so let's see how that Yachty fight goes first. I would want to put all these names in front of him, but I've not seen him fight a lot of light heavyweights or cruisers. So I just want to see how that translates because we talked about it last time. When was the last time he knocked out his opponent? He's going all 12 rounds with the last time he was going up weight. So I want to see how all that translates with bigger fighters. When he goes back to 168, you already know it's done. He's gonna knock out them. He's gonna knock out everybody.
I don't know if it's a win, but yeah, maybe if. But I did say, Caleb Plant's trying to stick around, throwing his name in the hat. I just think he just missed his train ticket.
When do you? And this is a horrible tag to put a fighter in. When do you call a fighter damaged goods? Like after how many losses?
Well, he just
look at a fighter and you're like, nah.
Well, his last loss is a bad loss. It's depending on who he's losing to. He losing to the top tier opponents, okay. Magomed gave him a battle, all right.
Yeah.
But when you lose this, a mid or a low level name, all right, now it's like, all right, now you got a long road back, and you don't got time's not on your side. So now this one, I think this one is probably realistic. It ain't a money fight at all, but because of the alliances, I threw in there that Hamza Shiraz fight.
I can see that. I just think I've seen Shiraz struggle. I mean, he beat Balenga like a runaway. I don't want to finish with that, but he beat Balenga bad. But Shiraz, prior to that, there was a fight that Shiraz looked like
stiff.
Yeah, he didn't look good, and I wonder how they gave it to him. For Terrence Crawford,
but we're talking about the sport of boxing, where politics are a factor.
Yeah,
I'd have to take it. Because think about it, like the money for that fight and the money for the Janibek fight.
Yeah, I could see Janibek. I could see Shiraz may not be ready for this type of competition.
That doesn't even matter because they were positioning him for Canelo. So
right.
So this is I'm looking at this for a Riyadh season fight in the Middle East.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? The money man himself put that number on his Twitter. He put 168. So I wonder who he was talking about.
That's my prediction. That this is what makes business sense with the all parties involved.
Yeah.
And now listen, Shiraz is a stiff puncher.
Yeah, he's good. Good jab. He's rangy. I mean, yeah, he's good. He's good. He really personally he needs to be cruiserweight, but that's if you're 6'4", having to size down to 168. I don't know how much do you walk around at? Like 6'4", 168. That's a small person. I mean, that's light, super light.
Yeah.
But yeah. But even just talking about Riyadh season, and I'm moving away a little bit from boxing. Did you see the past or the previous week or weekend that Turkey is now bringing stand-up comedians? Dave Chappelle, all sorts of people. Like Turkey, like Riyadh season is not only boxing or golf. Now it's like the whole entertainment slew, like flying over comedians and stuff like that. I'm like, they're really ambassadors for Saudi Arabia. It's pretty cool.
Good for them.
Money's being distributed around.
Good for them.
But ladies and gentlemen, that's what we have for today. As you can see, it's been outside the UFC 320. It's been a slow week for boxing or when marquee boxing. But next weekend we come back again, like we never left. We'll have boots. We'll have all sorts of. We'll have. Who am I missing here? We'll have next week. We have
Josh Padley,
David Allen, all of them. But ladies and gentlemen, it's been another great episode of Who's Fighting, episode 70, big milestone, big 7-0. We pulled this from the ground up from 19, resurrected it last year, September, to now 70, and we're still going. The two people that are live, salute, thank you for staying to the end and watching us do our thing, talk about the thing that we like, the thing that we share a commonality, which is this combat sports thing. It's a disease that I like. I don't want to say disease, a habit. But
hey, I know it's somebody from the Zone, it's somebody from Ring Magazine. Jump in the inbox, okay?
Exactly.
Let's talk. I got a lot of ideas.
Let's talk. He's the best. I would say he's the best predictor, but he knows how to match make. He knows how to make the perfect dance partners in this boxing space. And everything he's been saying, somebody's clearly been listening because it's been coming and coming to fruition. So might as well make it legit and have him be on that team to make these decisions, because let me tell you, the man is thinking ahead of everyone. He's
Turkey.
Yeah.
We mutual fans. We're mutual fans, Turkey.
Yeah. Let's make this official. Thank you again for watching us. Oh, 3 of you right now who are live, thank you for staying to the end of the show. Kam is not here, but he's with us in spirit. He'll be back next episode. LT, thank you, man. As I finish this and bid adieu, LT, who's
fighting?
Yeah.